everyone and welcome to today's video. I'm really glad that you tuned in because in this one I will review for you two new releases from Dior. There is one for women that is called Rose and Roses, and that is the flanker of their Miss Dior perfume, and the one for men is called Dior Homme 2020. And I received samples of both perfumes in this cigarette-like looking box, which is really adorable, and I've already worn both perfumes, so I have solid opinions on both of them. But I would like to know if you have already tried these out, and if so, please go ahead and share your experience with them with all of us in the commentary section. I'm sure your feedback is going to be helpful for all of us. And I wanted to tell you that when I'm not on YouTube, then I'm on my social media. That's where make sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and if you want to private message me or me to assist you in any fragrance related topic, then check me out on Patreon. All the relevant links you will find in the description box down below. And with that being said, let's find out what the new releases for the early 2020 from Dior are about. So there are two perfumes, one for women, one for men. I would like to start with the masculine one, which is called Dior Homme 2020, and this is how it looks like. Very stylish, right? But you guys, I have upsetting news for the original Dior Homme lovers among you, because I've heard that this one should be a replacement for the original Dior Homme, and that is quite shocking, right? Like breaking news right here on Tommelise's channel. Well, you remember the original one? If not, I will remind you how it smells. Well, basically this is such a legendary perfume because it's not like all the other masculine perfumes out there, right? Because it's not overly manly. Instead, it is very heavy on the note of iris, and that's where it has this lipsticky vibe going on in there, but at the same time it is sweet and fresh, and the note of cacao is mixed into the leather, so the result is really rich. At the same time, it smells classic and just very special, and it has been bestseller ever since it was released. So I don't really understand why Dior decided to replace it. Maybe it smells too original now. Let me know what you think about it, and let me know if you heard that it is discontinued now. But with that being said, you guys, just imagine some man who doesn't watch YouTube videos, who is not up to date what's happening out there, what Dior does to his favorite perfume, decides to go to the store and repurchase his favorite fragrance, and then he comes home with the wrong one just because the marketing campaign is so confusing. This one is so similar to the original one, so I'm sure that there is going to be a lot of misunderstanding there, and he sprays the fragrance, and that's not the lipsticky scent that he will get. Instead, he will be overpowered with the citrus and spicy explosion, because that is how it opens. It is way more masculine than the original one. There is nothing lipsticky, nothing sweet to it, so if you are expecting that type of scent, you will be disappointed. But it is definitely about the modern molecules, because it is heavy on something like Ambraxan or Isui Super. It is very abstractly woody, it is fresh, and it smells like man. Now, you guys, is it the end of the legend? Am I mad at it? Do I like it? Well, the thing is, it depends on how you look at it, because to me personally, it is not a winner, but I don't really hate on it. The reason why it's not my winner is because it is so generic. There are so many perfumes that smell exactly like it out there that I don't understand. Like my brain doesn't understand why Dior, why for the God's sake Dior, Dior decided to release such a boring perfume. Maybe they wanted to attract younger audience, but you know, the right way to present this formula would be to make it a lighter flanker of Sauvage, because it is definitely in his team. It has nothing to do with Dior Homme, even though there are many flankers of that perfume in that line. Now you guys, I don't hate on it because it's actually very pleasant. It smells nice even on my skin, it performs well, it projects nicely, it lasts long, so I can't complain about the performance, but about the creativity, because what is it about? Like, it's so forgettable, and that is my biggest problem with this new release. Now, I would like to know what you think about it, and what do you think about those masculine perfumes that all smell very similar, almost the same, that are very, very pungent and just too heavy on modern molecules. I am not a hater of modern molecules. I find they can do great things to perfumes, but like, so many brands like follow this trend, and to me it's actually very upsetting that such a brand as Dior, legendary brand that used to set trends, now follows trends of others. Do you know what I mean? Let me know if you agree on that with me, or you have completely different opinion, which is fine. Now, that was my take on this fragrance. If you have any questions, then go ahead and leave me your feedback in the commentary section down below. But I would like to move on to the feminine one. I decided to throw in the masculine and the feminine new release and not do separate videos, just because I wanted everyone, men and women, to have something from this video. So, as I've mentioned, Rose and Roses is the newest flanker of Miss Dior, and I probably should mention that I am not the biggest fan of Miss Dior line, except the peony one, which is actually called Blooming Bouquet, because it just imitates the scent of my favorite flower, peony, quite well. But other scents are really way too boring, just not my type of scents that I would like to wear. But I think the Cherie one that they discontinued was quite a hit, and I don't understand why brands discontinue amazing, super cool perfumes and bring out something so average. Well, anyway, how do I feel about Rose and Roses? You might know that I have already featured in the video about new designer perfume releases, but I wanted to update you on my feelings about it. So Rose and Roses is perfume that is about rose, right? As you've probably guessed, because it's right in the name, it's out there, it claims to be a rosy take on Miss Dior. I don't really understand why they did that, because the majority of Miss Dior perfumes feature a rose accord, but whatever, maybe this is the rosiest one. And the funniest thing is, it is not the rosiest one. Actually, to me personally, this is a very light rose that smells of that pale rose that you get from your florist, that is not even scented. So it's not the rose that grows in your garden. It's not rose right in your face. It's a very faded rosy scent that lacks performance, that is not as long lasting as, for example, Dior Homme actually is. So I think it is for those who are not looking for a bright, vivid, rosy scent, but those who prefer something very calm, something that is shared out, that want to be very noticeable throughout the day, and that's all fine. But I mean, for this price, you don't really get the quality, and then it's Dior. So I think if you're okay with overpaying, even though you could definitely find fragrances similar, if not exactly smelling like these ones, then that's all right, but that's not my type of strategy. But I'd like to know what you think about these two perfumes. And to me personally, the conclusion is this is definitely the end of legendary perfumes, and Dior just follows trends, because you know there are so many perfumes that smell of modern molecules out there, and there are so many flankers of popular designer fragrances with rose on them. I've even created a whole video about that, as well as video in which I broke down the Dior Homme line and the Miss Dior line. Relevant links you'll find down below, as I've already said, so check it out. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please like it and please subscribe if you're new here. Set those notifications, otherwise you won't get updates when I post new videos. Request future videos in the comments. Let's chat, because that's what I love to do, and I'm planning on doing a top list of favorite rosy perfumes, so stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for watching. Make sure to stay tuned, smell good, and we'll see each other next one really soon. Bye guys.